we'll take a few minutes here this afternoon and we'll kick off with an activity, as I said. This is called Airport Dash. So the idea, the theory behind it is, training department, we've got way too many training participants coming and going. We're having difficulty getting our participants from the airport gate to the actual airport shuttle. There's all sorts of confusion in between. So we had to set up a safety administration team. That's myself, Clint over here. And we're going to split you guys into two groups and we're going to demo how to do this properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split you up 7 and 7. I believe we got 14, so we'll just cut her in half. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jared there in the middle, he's not taking part. He's played this before. And then 7 on this side. So the 7 over here, you guys will be team B. 7 on this side, you guys will be team A. The objective of the game is pretty simple, really. It's to get from A to B and from B to A. The only trick to it is that there's a certain way to get through the grid. And that's where it's Clinton and my job to look after you guys and make sure you get through safely. So as you're going through the grid, say you start in B, and you step in an unsafe area, we're going to tase your ass. Clickers.
It's a dog trainer.
It's whatever you want to call it, sure. Whatever works for you. That's the indication that you're unsafe. Means you have to go back to the start and go to the back of the line, and another person from your team enters into the circle. And then he's got another go to see if he can get across. And at the same time as Team B is operating, we'll have Team A operating from the other end. The objective of the game is to get everybody from A to B and everybody from B to A. A couple rules about traveling through the grid. 1 square at a time. You can go forwards, you can go sideways, you can go backwards, you can go diagonally. What you cannot do is skip squares. So you can only travel to adjacent squares. So those are the rules when traveling inside the grid. If you do step in a wrong square, I call them my tasers, clickers, whatever you want to call them, as I said. That means you're in an unsafe spot, and that's where Clint and I will ask you to go to the back of the line. Everybody from each team needs to safely make it from A to B and B to A.
Do the squares change, or is this like memory where?
There's a certain path in the grid that you must follow, yes, and it will not change. It's set already. Clint and I know what the path is.
Is there one different path for each team?
That's for you guys to figure out.
What?
Any other questions? Whoa, hang on a second. Tom, question?
I don't know, would you just guess at it?
Off the start, that's all you can do, yeah? Anybody else?
So what if we win? You got a bad memory or who?
What was that, Eugene?
You just gotta remember all the safe spots.
Gotcha. Prizes, we do have some prizes at the end. We'll worry about that when it's all said and done. Let's get through the activity first.
Okay, sure.
All right, so Team A, you can line up. Only one person from each team is allowed inside the grid at a time.
Somebody else is.
So you can only have one person from each team inside the grid at a time. As soon as one person
Okay,
enters,
I'll sneak around you here so I can get some footage. Yeah.
Nice. Keep going. You're on a roll.
what? Sorry, man, that's the wrong square.
Forward first, then probably back. Damn.
It's like Dance Revolution. I don't even know.
Are A's doing any better than the B's over there?
We're starting to move forward now.
All right.
Things are looking better.
These guys are doing good off the start, and I don't know what's happened now. They're kind of falling apart off the
nail there.
They got the same path as us.
Oh shit, I sure get
Like
alert.
that way. I was watching. We just walked our road. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, buddy.
They didn't walk it.
Alright, Team B's rocking it now.
Keep going diagonal. Where he is.
Perfect. I was watching.
Perfect.
No,
Can we coach him? Just follow him. Yeah.
It's kind of awkward like that.
So we have 3 guys left from Team B. Still need to make it through. Nope, that wasn't you. You're good to go. That was the other team.
Alright, wait till he said the way.
Wow, Team B is rocking this thing. Team B is taking.
Back one, side, side.
Angle.
Alright, one more and we're done. Brady, it's in your hands, man.
I don't know where to go.
No, I'm sorry, Brady.
Over.
Over. Oh,
Gotta go back to the start.
diagonal, over,
Diagonal.
over.
This is as far as we got.
Diagonal.
Sideways.
Sideways.
Back.
Over.
Sideways, sideways.
Sideways.
Sideways. Diagonal. Diagonal.
Teamwork.
Well done, Team B. Team A, you still gotta complete it.
Why did we not try?
They were helping each other out.
Nobody's saying shit.
Did we say you couldn't help each other
No,
out?
I know, but we are.
Back.
We keep
Back.
fucking the same thing up.
No,
Over. Over.
Teamwork.
Sideways.
Diagonal.
Sideways. Diagonal.
Diagonal. Great.
There we go. We got it all.
Ah, that is a.
Did you watch that?
Sideways. Sideways. Back. Sideways. Diagonal.
There we go.
Alright, we should have her now.
Bonding.
fellas.
Team bonding.
So optimistic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Back.
Back and then diagonal. So close.
Jeez, I got a little cocky there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Lightning fast
Nice.
pace.
Yeah.
Always foxy. Do we call that a success, Clint? We'll call that a success. Alright, a little bit of a funny step there at the end.
Yeah.
but
He
it'll
lost
work,
balance.
it'll work.
There we go.
Last man standing? Yeah, or we got a couple more yet? You guys are done? Nope.
There you go. Easy, right?
Oh, yeah. After 20 guys.
Oh, really? I'm not even paying attention.
Gold. The pressure's on.
You've been waiting here a while. Okay, this one. Back.
Money.
Alright,
I was gonna go for the bluff step.
so what was the challenge off the start? Not knowing where you were going, didn't know the route. So what did we do to kind of make it a bit easier?
Trial by fire.
Trial by fire? And as soon as somebody got the right path, nobody made a mistake after that at all? So we made the same mistake over and over again, is that what you're saying? A few times. So is that, do we see that out in the field at all?
Monkey see, monkey do.
Why is that?
It's just how we're built.
Houses aren't identified.
Yeah. Even though we know where the challenges lie and what the hazards are, without having guys actually paying attention and communicating and talking about it, we're still gonna run into issues and problems the same way we did in here. What else did you guys see going on? How long, sorry, go ahead. Hey? People helping, that was exactly what I was gonna ask. How long did it take to realize that A was traveling through the same path that B was traveling through?
Through a few
Once
tries.
one guy got through it.
Once one guy got all the way through from B to A, there was a few people over here on the A side that said, hey, that's the same path we're going on. Did you guys right away go over and tell those guys from B, hey guys, you know, we just figured it out, we're traveling through the same path, did you work together? Why not?
We wanted the prize.
Well, yeah, listen. Who said the prize was gonna be for the team that got finished first? Glenn, did you say that?
I didn't say that.
Competitive nature.
You guys took that one upon yourselves.
Suckers.
It's the same mentality we have in the field, right?
I helped the other team, Michael.
Yeah, you actually did a good job helping out there at the end doing some coaching. I'll come back to that in a second. It's, you know, we've talked a lot this morning about the pressure that the oil companies put on because of the economics right now, how the rig moves are being pushed and timelines are getting crunched and we're under all sorts of pressure. But the interesting thing is even when there isn't pressure and it's not a race and it's not a competition, we still automatically kind of do that to ourselves. It's that self-imposed pressure. You see it even here in the office. You get competition between groups and the communication breaks down and it's never for the better of the whole company. Clay knows exactly what I'm talking about. You see it everywhere, guys. So the coaching that you were talking about a minute ago, Jeff, what would have been the value had we kind of tie in our observation program? Had we kind of just put one guy off to the side and designated him as the supervisor or the observer for the task? And had him kind of coach and mentor throughout. You think if we had one guy standing off to the side and all his job was to watch what was going on in the operation, that we might have picked up on some of those things a little bit quicker? So that's what we're getting now with the observations. It's the same thing out in the field.
But one thing I noticed, it was easy to watch a guy go through it, and then you step out there and start going through it. It's not as easy to do stepping through it as it is watching it. Like, oh, you're going through it in your head, and oh yeah, easy, not step through it.
Yeah.
And once you get it, you get it.
Is that like real life too though?
I noticed that lot. Real, you're sitting there under the controls, you're pointing out all this stuff, and then the push is on the controls, and you get in there to help. You're all very clustered up.
How many of you guys have been shut down for 3-4 months at a time? Lately, probably pretty much all of you have had a decent amount of time off.
It's been like that since a week.
So when you get back out to work after the shutdowns, you always remember every step of all those procedures that you had fine-tuned while you were working steady?
No.
This thing here, I don't know if you guys saw Click and I, we've done this exercise a whole bunch of times together. And as you guys were coming through the door to come from the one room to the other, him and I were looking at the piece of paper, covering the map again to make sure we didn't mess it up. We've got to go back to the drawing board and look because we're humans, we forget things. We're going to always have that problem on the field. That's, again, why we want that extra guy on the side, watching the operation, paying attention to what's going on, and then using those communication skills when necessary. Other questions, comments? Other takeaways?
I think one other thing too was, Group A kind of identified it as well partway through near the end there. We're not communicating, you guys brought that up pretty quick. So a question, I guess, is who here has kids? Anybody have kids? Okay, most of you. How easy is it to talk to your kid, tell them what they're doing wrong or what they're doing right?
Depends what age they are.
Yeah.
Generally, it's pretty easy though, right?
Generally.
Have that conversation and talk it right away, right? We want to try and make sure we're doing the same thing at work. Same situation here, right? We brought it up, we're not talking about having communication, everybody else is doing it. Why are we so afraid, not afraid, but maybe reserved instead of talking up and speaking up? Let's make that point. That's part of that observation program as well, right? Having that conversation. So it all kind of starts here, right? If we know we're making mistakes, let's talk about it, figure out what we're doing wrong and correct it. We're not going to know if we don't talk about it. If we just kind of leave a blind eye, so to speak, and keep doing what we're doing, we kind of saw what happened. We kept carrying on with mistakes.
No, I think it all breaks down to each crew kind of working against each other when they forget that it's one rig drilling one well, right? Maybe there's 3 different teams to it, 3 different lines on that team, but it just comes back to that one rig drilling one well.
Yeah, full team effort.
it's a good way to look at it, that, you know, look after yourself and your rig and your guys out there, but you can even take that a little bigger too, Brady.
For sure.
We're all working on rigs for the same company with the same goal, and that's part of this too, is getting everybody on the same page, so that as our guys move from one rig to another rig, it's consistent across the board, and we're not doing things differently in one area than we are in another area. Get everybody to that same standard. Other comments? Any additional?
Well, I had bring that up with the two AC rigs that are sitting side by side, 570, 571, we're sitting side by side, they're really like 50 feet apart. I'm surprised that they don't have a meeting with both crews or whatever, once a week. So someone has a faster way to take off that wash pipe. The rig took 3 hours to take off the wash pipe. If you would've just had that meeting, you could've got it done in 10 minutes.
It's a really good point.
You utilize all the manpower there. Like, if they're rig moving, I usually send a crew over there to go help them walk.
Sure.
But I had mentioned that to the company man, and they sounded like they wanted to go for it. But you'd think that you'd utilize everyone there, 'cause there is jobs on these AC rigs. Was off of a conventional for a long time, so it was a learning curve for me too. But there's people that have the expertise out there, so you get thrown into spots there where you're just trial and error,
Yeah.
step in different ways and figure it out.
Same thing, I worked with a company up in Tommy Lakes. We have both had trouble, both working for the same company, everything side by side, basically. We both had trouble on the first hole. Well, my guy figured it out to wait up, to keep the rocks out, to keep the shale out. And we just skipped through the whole winter. This other rig had trouble all winter. The two engineers sat at the same table for supper, sat at the same table for dinner. Nothing was ever discussed. One's having no problems, the other one's having problems all winter with shale.
You guys are highlighting probably the most important part of this is the communication aspect, and that's, as we get back into the classroom here this afternoon, that's where we're going. We're gonna spend the next couple hours talking about different ways to make the communication better when we have these situations where probably focus most on the difficult conversations, the ones where you gotta talk to a guy about something where it isn't gonna be an easy thing to talk about, but also how do we improve and get our message delivered across a whole bunch of different facets. We can expand our horizons whichever way we wanna go.
That's kind of what I was thinking that they should do with that weekly phone call there, the conference call. Bring up one of the operational things for a rig. I've been to a couple of calls when I was top driving for PD, where just in the VFD, someone hit remote, and I ran 14 hours while that rig was down. When you could say in a conference call, here's a scenario, guys. Because that happened to
They are doing
571.
They are doing some of that, no?
It's 571 sitting there on code 8, and then we went over there and asked them what's wrong. And it was all up.
Well, that and the other comment you made about sharing guys in the rig meetings and the meetings between 70 and 71, those are kind of same as what we were talking about in the room. Those are good comments for operations. And I'll also let you guys know ahead of time too, if you want to kind of think about it as the rest of the afternoon goes along. Those evaluation sheets that you have to fill out at the end of the day, on the back side of that, there's a couple extra additional questions just based on the situation of the economy and where the company's at right now. We realize that it's been a struggle for a lot of our guys and a lot of different situations. We have a lot of people not working, and it hasn't been a great year. So there's a couple extra questions on there where we're trying to find out what are we doing that is working. So are any of our incentives and programs that we have put in place to try and keep you guys happy and keep you working and keep things running smooth, are we seeing effects from them? And also there's another additional box on there, what can we improve, what can we do better? So some of those comments, write them down on there, and when operation shows up at the end of the day, we can address some of that. But I think for the most part, for the communication, we'll stick with kind of the observation communication, the one-on-one, and just getting over the hump and how do we get our message across and motivate guys. So good exercise just to get everybody thinking about it. Thanks for everybody for taking part. I don't think anybody's got anything else.
Try it again, man. Try it again.
Did anybody do it right now? Now that we've been stopped for a couple minutes? You got it?
I'll do it backwards.
Backwards. Alert yourself.
You gotta do it backwards there, big fella.
There you go.
Good. Got it, man.
With 14 observers to help them out. Thanks, guys.